I bought you running backs. Now I'm bringing you wide receivers. 6 wide receivers I believe could be league winners for your fantasy football team in 2022. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree, disagree, or if there's somebody I missed out. Let's get straight to it. And at number 1, we have NVS for the Kansas City Chiefs. Current ADP on 4for4, wide receiver 52. An underdog, wide receiver 45. In my rankings, wide receiver 49. There is no doubt NVS is going to be part of this offense some way, somehow. How? We don't know. But what we've seen in preseason and what we've seen the snap count share and how we saw Patrick Mahomes target NVS, we understand Juju was not part of that, part of those plays in preseason, but the way they were utilizing him looked very, very special, very unique for NVS. Once again, this team is all about speed and creating space in weird, awkward scenarios, and MVS fits that scenario to the T. 260 plus targets that are vacant now with Tyreek, Byron Pringle, and Demarcus Robinson. Obviously, so many targets available, over 15 targets per game that is going to be available for NVS. So this is how I see the Chiefs depth chart really working out, right? Number 1, Juju. Number 2, MVS. And number 3, Sky Moore. I do believe Sky Moore is going to gradually get some more work and maybe become the wide receiver 2, potentially in the second half of the season, maybe when it's kind of already too late for the playoff scenario. But definitely Sky Moore in a dynasty perspective for sure. But NVS looks like he is for sure going to get a workload in the early of the season. He is in concussion protocol. So if you can get him right now, maybe someone dropped him and say, well, he's hurt, nothing's going to happen. Go get him right now in the 11th round. Whatever the case may be, you can get him on wires or you can get him in your redraft leagues if you're drafting still middle of the 11th round. Why not take a flyer on NVS? And at number 2, we have Jarvis Landry going back to New Orleans here with the New Orleans Saints. Current ADP, wide receiver 60. Underdog, wide receiver 72. My rankings, wide receiver 60. This is a very, very sneaky value here for Jarvis Landry. You can get him in the middle of the 13th round. This can be a great wide receiver 3 for your team, a flex option, a guy that you can plug and play if there's bye weeks or if someone gets injured in the middle of the season. The thought process is that, there's going to be Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Jarvis Landry. I do believe they have him as the wide receiver 2 currently on this roster, but I can definitely see that getting bumped up once again, maybe to the wide receiver 1 if Michael Thomas is not ready. He's been dealing with this injury for nearly 2 years already. How ready is he? Do you get what I'm saying here? He can have some sneaky consistent points per game, per week, honestly. So he can have sneaky consistent weeks potentially. I can see him averaging maybe 6 to 8 targets, maybe getting 10 to 14 points. Not a home run hitting. Once again, a guy that you can fit in your flex position, a guy that you can fit in if somebody's injured and you need a guy for 1 or 2 weeks. Why not go pick him up either off your waiver wires or get him in once again the 13th round? And in preseason, we saw him and we know that Jameis loves to air the ball out, getting big chunks of yards. He caught 2 passes for 35 yards. 1 catch was for 20 yards. 1 catch was for 15 yards. Once again, we know Jameis loves to air the ball out. Why not Jarvis Landry, a very, very consistent, solid veteran that he can rely on? Why not get Jarvis Landry once again in the 13th round? Let's do it. And at number 3, we have Devante Parker. Current ADP on 4for4, wide receiver 55. Underdog, wide receiver 61. My rankings, he's my wide receiver 57, Another guy kind of like Jarvis Landry, a guy that you can plug and play by weeks. This is a good, perfect opportunity for him to kind of revitalize his career. Obviously, he got drafted to Miami Dolphins. He was a first-round pick. He was out there with Ryan Tannehill for a little bit, but now he's here with Mac Jones, Bill Belichick. This team finally has a true wide receiver 1. Tyquan Thornton is there, but he is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Also, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, all those guys are very talented. But this is Devante Parker, a first-round pick, a guy that's going and should be super high ceiling, to be completely honest, with his ceiling, with his talent. Devante Parker, once again, he is a good contested catch wide receiver. He's a good guy that can play in the middle. He's a very versatile wide receiver. This is what the New England Patriots need in a wide receiver 1. You have Jacoby Myers as well in the slot. This is a good opportunity. Honestly, if Mac Jones can ball out and get this connection rolling, I won't be surprised if I see Devante Parker as a top 30 wide receiver in 2022. Once again, you can get him in the 12th round right now. What's going to hurt? A flyer. Once again, a guy that you can put in your flex, that you can put if someone's injured, take a shot on Devante Parker. And at number 4, let's go to Dallas and let's go with Michael Gallup. He's currently right now on ADP on 444, wide receiver 57, underdog wide receiver 59, in my rankings wide receiver 56. You can get him in the middle of the 12th round. The biggest question mark with Michael Gallup is, when is he going to start? Good news is he's already off the PUP list. He should be aiming to return for a week 2 or 3 start in the NFL season. People saying he could start in week 1, but we all know what Michael Gallup can do. He was the wide receiver 2 for a little bit. When Amari Cooper went down, he was really filling in pockets. He was a very good deep ball presence for Dak Prescott this past year. Once again, get him in the 12th round. What is going to hurt? A guy that you can plug and play in your flex position, a guy that you can put in, maybe even be a good wide receiver 3 on your team if somebody gets hurt. Let's say you have a DeAndre Hopkins, and you need a guy, and within those 6 weeks, Michael Gallup could be that guy for you. Once again, the middle of the 12th round, take a shot on Michael Gallup. And at number 5, we have Tyler Lockett. I know if you've been watching, I've been saying stay away from Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, but when you can get Tyler Lockett in the 9th round, I think it becomes great value for you as a wide receiver 3 or even a wide receiver 4. On some teams, I've seen him getting drafted as a wide receiver 4. Current ADP, wide receiver 40 on 444, an underdog wide receiver 47. And I bumped him up to my wide receiver 39. Look, Geno Smith has officially been named the starter. We've seen a decent connection with him in preseason. Is that going to translate into actual season? I'm not sure. But once again, as a wide receiver 3 on your team, as a wide receiver 4 on your team, a guy that we know could be fantasy relevant, a guy that we've seen be fantasy relevant, obviously with a completely different quarterback. But we've seen a little bit of glimpse, 3-week glimpse last year with Geno and Tyler Lockett. Lockett wasn't the guy in those 3 weeks. It was actually DK Metcalf. But I do believe now that Geno kind of acclimated himself into this offense, kind of really understands built his chemistry throughout the offseason, and he knows he was fighting. Russell Wilson was really out, and now he was like, okay, I need to play for this and fight for the starting job. I do believe he has built as much chemistry with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Once again, in the middle of the 9th round for Tyler Lockett as a wide receiver 3 or 4, I think it will be a good, safe floor for him, maybe 10 points, 12 points per game. You probably have spike weeks up and down, and that's what you want. That's what you want with a guy like Tyler Lockett in the 9th round. Take a shot, take a flyer. I love him here. And at number 6, last but not least, we have Roberto Woods. Come on, baby, talk it up. Current ADP on 444, wide receiver 43, underdog ADP wide receiver 46 in my ranking. He is the wide receiver 50. He's clearly with the Tennessee Titans. There goes Treylon Burks. There goes Malik Willis. There goes Ryan Tannehill. Who's going to be the starting quarterback on this team? I do believe it's going to be Ryan Tannehill in the first half of the season. Could Malik come in the second half? We don't know, but let's not get there yet, okay? Roberto Woods, a fantastic wide receiver. We saw success with Matthew Stafford in last year, obviously before he tore his ACL. He was a top 12 wide receiver with Cooper Kupp on the field. He's going to a completely different offense now with Ryan Tannehill. This is a run-first offense, but at the same time, a great pass-run blocker here with Roberto Woods, okay? Why not take Roberto Woods in the late 9th round, early 10th round right here as a wide receiver? Once again, wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, a good safe floor that you can get with him. Maybe 9, 12 points per game as a flex option. Maybe you have a 1 flex on your team. Why not grab Roberto Woods? What's going to hurt? What is going to hurt? Late 9th round, early 10th round. I do believe he can be a good asset to your fantasy team. Once again, let's remember, Treylon Burks is a rookie. I'm not saying I'm off Treylon Burks. I'm saying I think there's going to be some growing pains, and maybe Ryan Tannehill, maybe Roberto Woods could be, a good safety blanket for Ryan Tannehill. So why not go get Roberto Woods, in the late 9th round. These are my 6 late round wide receivers I believe could potentially be league winners. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, if I miss anyone out. Once again, if you think there's someone better out there, put it in the comments below. I like all these guys. Once again, Roberto Woods, MVS, Jarvis Landry, Devante Parker, Michael Gallup, and Tyler Lockett. Love all these guys. Good luck.
Yo, what's good?
What
Thanks
up?
for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe
Right now.
if you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.